Hello, everyone. How you doing? And welcome to another Adobe Live EDU edition. My name is Martin Cisneros, education evangelist here at Adobe. And oh my goodness, do we have some amazing stuff for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we are going to be talking about some book talks, not just with anyone, ladies and gentlemen. We have my very special friend, our very special friend, Miss Celeste Lopez. Celeste, I've heard something that you work with books. Can you
Mm,
tell everyone a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I hail from South Texas, from a little city named McAllen, Texas. I am a librarian, or as I like to call myself, a tech librarian. And I have been in education for 25 years, 18 of those years as a reading teacher. And then I transitioned and crossed over to become a librarian at the best school in the world. Shout out to DeLeon Middle School. And also, can I give a shout out, Martin, to a special class?
Of course, of
That
course.
special class is Miss Gonzalez's eighth graders, IB history students. So, yes, I
Yay.
am a librarian. So, I do all things books, all things tech, and I am so happy to be here because my passion is storytelling. And not only reading and writing stories, but now it's expanded to digital storytelling. So, super happy to be here.
I love it. I love it. And of course, the tool, ladies and gentlemen, that we are going to be working with is Adobe Express. And for those of you who have been with us, you understand that Adobe Express can transform student led book talks into vibrant, shareable experiences that build campus culture and reader confidence. Because I don't know about you, but opening a book is like opening a different world. So, not only that, but in this session, we're going to explore how students can use Adobe Express to design eye-catching graphics, short videos, which I love videos because we all know that, writing is amazing, but if you can tell your story in so many different modalities, it's going to be even more amazing. So can't wait to see all the goodness that we have today. So Celeste, we talked a little bit about book talks, but for those folks who have never done a book talk, tell us a little bit about that. What does it do?
It is exactly what it says. It is anyone talking about a book that has made an impression on their life, a book that they're excited to share with others. And so that is exactly what you do. You talk about the book, why you liked it, summarize it. Yeah, you're giving a recommendation to your peers or to your community about why this book is fabulous and why this book needs to be in the hands of other people to read themselves.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So for this session, we are going to be talk about literally adding different skill sets to all of your students. So, part of this, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing you, of course, how to use ready-made video templates. So you never have to be worried about that blank, page off the bat. We're going to be talking about adding and editing music layovers, video editing, adding and editing captions. So for those of you who work with multilingual communities, you're going to see how powerful that can be. And then, Celeste is going to walk us through about why student-led book talk matter. So we have a lot of fun coming up for you. And for those of you who are completely brand spanking new, just a reminder that Adobe Express is free, absolutely free for
Yes.
K-12. So if you do not have access to it, please connect with your IT department or give us a call, and then we can, of course, guide you through that process. So, Celeste, I am so excited, but the first thing I got to do is I got to show people, like, how do you even begin with Adobe Express? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show folks is like how do we get there, right? How do we get to one of the templates that we're going to be working with today. So when you first log into Adobe Express, this is what you're greeted with. You're greeted, of course, Adobe Express will say hi to you at the very, very top. You also have the create, teach, and edit tabs at the top. You have, of course, all some amazing buttons that we're going to be talking about this a little bit later. But where we're going to start today is way up at the top, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We're going to go up here where it says search for templates and more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and type in film background. So I'm going to type in film background. When I do, this is just a reminder that Adobe continues to add. Celeste and I, we had this talk the other day as we were preparing for today. Is Celeste found this amazing template, but then she went back in the next day and it's like, I can't find them. I think, where did it go? So just letting you know that, of course, templates keep on coming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on templates here. I'm going to click on view all. And then now you're going to see all these different variety of templates, right? Now, just so you know, the way I like to do things is I already know that some of these are stills. And what I'm looking for is the one that Celeste mentioned to me. So that one is a video, right? So if I go over here and I click on type, I'm going to click on video templates. As you can see, there's different types of templates, right? Now, as I'm looking on here, it's like, oh, there's way more, right? So we had talked about, oh, these look great. So this is something that we want to make sure that everyone understands, that if you find a template, you might be looking for something completely different. But here is the one that we're going to use, right? We are hiring. So if you notice the difference between this and, of course, everything else that's around here is that there's a little heart. Now, I did this on purpose because I do this all the times. Sometimes I go through this thing so quick, Celeste, that I'm like, oh, I know there was exactly like you did. I know there was this template, but I can't remember. So if you find something, and I do this all the time, if I'm looking for a different project, but something catches my eye, go up here and you can heart any one of this. So I'm going to give you an example. I saw another one earlier today, this one, right? So if I want to, like I can use this for something else that I already have for another project, I can go ahead and click on the little heart sign. Now, when you're looking for it, like where do you go, right? Where do you go to do all this stuff? So just understand that you'll be able to, of course, be able to look at that a little bit later. So if I go in here and I definitely want to, create a project, I can definitely go in here and then where it says my stuff, I'll be able to go at the very, very top. And what does that say on top? It says favorites. That's right. So if I click on favorites, look at this, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see all my favorites, whether it's templates, whether it's video or backgrounds. So students, same thing as you're going through this. If there's something that you enjoy, please make sure you hit the favorites so that way you're able to come back and grab it. But anyways, I'm going to head back here. I'm going to click on this because this is, this is the where the fun start. Now, what you're about to experience is Celeste. I'm going to go off screen for a bit and I'm going to have Celeste show her screen. But what I want you to think about is, just because it looks a certain way at the moment does not mean that that's the way it's going to end. Because that's the whole, that's the whole fun part of it, is to give you a starting point. So Celeste, so first of all, Celeste, tell us, as we begin to switch screens here in a little bit, tell us about the whole thing about book talks. Why do book talks matter?
Book talks matter because they generate enthusiasm for reading. So, as a librarian or a teacher, any educator, that's exactly what you want to do, is garner the interest in a particular book. And so I use these book talks and in this digital format to do exactly that, garner interest. Not only that, it builds community within your school or your campus. It generates excitement. Students are talking about books, you're piquing their interest and their curiosity. And that's exactly the entire purpose, is piquing curiosity about a particular book, getting kids excited about it. And so that is the purpose for book talks and why they matter. You want students and peers sharing with one another some story that was life-changing, or a story that made them think, or a story that was a gut punch and they couldn't stop thinking about what happened to that character days after they've already finished reading. So that is why book talks matter. It generates excitement, it builds community, and it is spreading enthusiasm. And enthusiasm is contagious.
I love it. I love it. So, Celeste, for me, I'm the type of person when I start these things is what does the end product look like? And I
Mm-hmm.
know you have some great examples that you're going to show us
Oh, yeah.
of some students. So can we at least see one just to start off so we have a better idea of
Absolutely. Let
where
me
we're heading?
open. So I have permission from my parent. They were so thrilled. The student was thrilled that I was sharing her book talk. This was shared on our school social media. She was our first brave student at our campus to volunteer and share out her passion for a book that she truly, truly loved. So with all this talk of book talk, and if you're a visual person like me and you want to see what does that look like, what does it sound like, this is what my students and I were able to whip together using Adobe Express. And so I'm thrilled to show it to you because this is what I'm going to be holding your hand and taking you step by step in doing and in creating. And if it seems impossible to do, it is not. You just need an open mind and a willingness, and you too can create your own cool multimedia book talk. So let me press play and hopefully you guys can hear it.
Yes, we see it, but we cannot hear it at the moment.
Aw.
No, no, that's okay. That's okay. Um, it's technology, of course. It's not if, it's when. But it looks amazing, and
Yeah.
just by seeing that, I love the fact that students can express themselves, and this is what
Yes.
this is what today is all about. Is of course you
Absolutely.
have students who are ready to be present to tell you the best part of their story or why they chose the book, and what it means to them. Because I think like any great storytelling device, which books are, just like film, podcasts, and all the other type of media, is how you're able to express your feeling towards it. So I'm excited. So Celeste,
Yes.
how are we going to begin today?
All right. Well, there is a bit.ly that is created. Let me see. Do you have that bit.ly?
Yes, for those of you who are on the chat, I am putting that bit.ly there, and that bit.ly is bit.ly book talk temp. That is bit.ly /book talk temp. So that is there for you, ready to roll. And Celeste, so where does this take us to?
Okay, so your bit.ly is going to take you to a template that you see already displayed on my screen. And if you'll notice, it is divided into 3 chunks. And I kind of think of these book talks as think of it as a story. You've got your beginning, you've got your middle, and you have your end. So I always begin any book talk with some type of intro, which is this first section that you see right here. So if everyone could click on the words book talk with Librarian Lopez, you'll see that there is a blue square around the text. So here is where you can edit at will, change it to book talk with, and maybe you can add in your name. So for those of you, if you're not sure, well, where did the text come from? How do I even add in text? Well, if you look right here on the left-hand side, you will see a giant capital T that says text right beneath it. And when you click on that, you will have a text box that appears. And that is where you can add in the title of your book talk, whatever it is that you're wanting to call it. For the video that was our inspo video, it was, I think I put Lion Book Talk. So at this time, if you are watching and you are able to open that bit.ly, I'd love for you to toy around with that text. Now, one little thing that I want to point out, if you'll notice, my text has a specific look. The letters are capital, and the way that it's spaced out is called dynamic. I got it from the text layout. So again, if you want to look on the left-hand side, anytime you click on text, these are the options that you have to edit. And so I chose text layout. And if you click on that, these are all the really cool options that you have to make your text more dynamic. Because again, if you're creating a book talk and you're trying to sell a story and you're trying to invite people into this world and you're trying to build interest, then everything matters, from the font to the colors to the text. So these are things to consider when you are creating something like a book talk. So how did I make it dynamic? Right here. I just clicked on the option dynamic, and it capitalizes the text and it scales it in a really cool format that I think is really eye-catching. So check out circle. You could make your text circular. Maybe if you have a circular logo, you could have the text around your logo. So another option of how to make something more appealing and eye-catching, because that's what you're trying to do. Your purpose is garner interest in this book talk, and that also includes every little thing you put in it, from the text, the font, the shadowing, the videos, the captions. All of it matters and helps to tell your story about this book. So
I love this. And you are absolutely correct, Celeste. This is the beginning, but as even as I'm playing around here, is like, oh, we could do this.
I
Oh,
know.
instead of the icon, we can add video on top of video on top of, and anyways, this is what your students will experience as well, ladies and gentlemen, is, once again, this is why we use templates, is for them to have a starting point.
Yes.
But as you will see, your students are going to get into trying to find the right font, trying to find the right graphic. But Celeste, I don't know how much time you normally give your students. Is there a certain time limit that you give them?
We normally have maybe like 30 minutes to an hour. It depends. And so I try to send them templates and they work off of that. Yeah. So
Perfect.
I share with them templates and then they edit what's there. And so, yeah, they choose the font, they choose the layout of the text. So if you're wondering, ladies and gentlemen, how on earth to add in text, it's that T on the left-hand side. And then once you add in your text, you have all these really, really cool features. Check this out. There's effects. So, oh my gosh, if you want to up the ante on how your title looks, then if you click on effects, those are your three options there in text. You can do some really cool things with using generate AI to create, oh my gosh, I could even change the lettering to look like books, to spell out book talk. I mean, how cool would that be? So, I mean, the possibilities are endless. Look at this. This is something that I toy around with too, shadowing. I love it because it really gives that pop or that crisp look, and it looks really polished and professional. And again, the more polished and well put together the package is, then the more that people are going to be curious to open the package or click and watch. So check out, there's glow, there's smooth, there's a halo effect. So boys and girls toy around with the text because, again, like Martin mentioned, the possibilities are endless of what you can do with just text. And that's just one aspect. We still have a lot of other things to cover, but I just wanted to point that out to you. All the really cool features of how you can really enhance the words that help tell the story. And lastly, animation, my favorite. Oh my gosh. Animation. Let's check this
Yes,
out.
yes, yes.
Okay, so again, I'm highlighting my text because that's what I want to be animated. And my favorite is looping it. I love the continuous movement. And I think what I had chosen was flicker because I liked how it kind of mirrored the flickering background that was chosen in the video template that I had chosen. And again, I chose that video background because it was my school color. I told students type in blue background. This is all about highlighting our school and highlighting our kids and books they love reading. So it's got to be school spirit all the way. So the blue background flickered, and I wanted the words to, or the animation to mimic that. So I like how when you hover over, it will give you a little sample of the flicker. Well, actually, let me press play. Okay, so did y'all see that? Could you hear the audio?
No, we're not able to hear the audio. But
That
here's
just
yeah, so
uh
you might need to unshare, and then when you share back, there's a little button that says share audio. You
uh-huh.
might want to do that, and then that way we'll be able to hear it. But it looks amazing, though.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. So yeah. So once again, I love students. Just think about that, right? Teachers, same thing is making sure once again we start with a template. You already have some fonts. You already have some graphics. So
Yes.
my first time when I do this with kids, I shorten the amount of time that they have just enough so they can put something up, like something that simple is tell me one aha you got about the book, like something that just
Oh,
made you think, right? Not that you
yes.
like or didn't like or expect or didn't, just what make you go oh because we live in a world of awe, and sometimes books allow us to do that. So I do something, and I what I do is I show them a template, and then I allow my students to do it. But I usually I shorten the amount of time because I want them to focus. I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to do this several times, but the very first time you have 5 minutes. Five
Mm-hmm.
minutes, and then they're like, but it's going to take me at least 3 minutes to choose what type of font that I want to use. I'm like, well, you now have 30 seconds. So the first time around is just you just
Yeah.
want them to go through the motions, and then of course in the larger project or the next time you do it, you allow them a little bit more time so that way they can get into all the fun stuff that you can do with Adobe Express.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what, Martin? I think the best way to learn is just discovery learning, tinker,
Mm.
just let the
Mhm.
kids loose, show them the initial teach, like here are the tools, your tools are on your left hand side, and then just release them, like cut the cord, let them go. And these kids will surprise you. They end up doing really, really cool, amazing things that you did not have to show them. They figured it out, they discovered on their own. So yeah, really quickly, if you're wondering how on earth did I get that book there and how is it turning pages? So I'm going to click on that book and I believe I went to media. So, boys and girls, or whoever's watching, I went to media, which is again on the left hand side. And you have options of media that you could add in, which is what I love about Adobe Express. They have a vast database of photos, videos, all types of really cool things, audio that you could add in. And that is exactly where I got my book from. I believe I clicked on videos, and right here where it says search videos, I more than likely typed in books. And let's see what I get. Yes. And so all that I did was I chose a book that I thought would fit well on my template. And then I didn't just leave the entire video there. I went ahead and removed the background, which is why you see that single book right there. I removed it. So let me see if I can maybe find that book. Oh gosh, I think it was this one. Yeah. So I want to add it as a layer. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm demoing.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Because that right there, that what you just finished doing is something that I think students might always get a little bit mixed up. So hit the back button really quick. My favorite button, by the way, the
This one,
undo
I know,
button.
mine too.
Yeah. I call it the uh-oh button,
There you go.
aka undo. But go ahead and click on that book again, Celeste.
This one?
The one that you chose, the one on the left-hand side on the
Okay.
yeah.
Let
So
me find that. I think it was this one. Yeah.
yeah. And right here. So you see that little pop-up? What is the
Yes.
difference, Celeste, between the top and the bottom section?
Yeah, okay. I kind of just like near over that.
Oh,
Yeah. This
when
is
you're an expert like you are, for those of us who are starting out, sometimes we need those little in-betweens.
yes. Okay, so let me give you this little nugget. So you have two options. So I can add this as a layer on my canvas. So think of this as artwork. I like how they call it canvas. So that is what I chose because I wanted this picture, or I'm sorry, this video added to the little video that I have begun. Now, if I choose a second option, which says add as a scene in the sequence, it's going to open another scene in my video. And if you'll look down here at my little timeline, I have 3 scenes. Remember how all stories have a great beginning, middle, and end? Well, had I chosen the latter, it would have opened a 4th scene. So that's what the difference is. One is you can add that as an image on your video, or you can add it as another completely different scene. And for now, for the purpose of our book talk, we just wanted 3, our beginning, our middle, and our end. So thank you, Martin, for pointing that out because I just zooped right over it.
All good.
So let me try that again. I'm going to add as a canvas. And then right here, if I click on it, I'm going to go to edit because I want to edit this. I don't want that background. It's ruining the vibe of my intro to my book talk. I'm going to click right here where it says remove background. Isn't that mind-blowing? I love how you can remove the background and not just photos, but videos as well. So talk about a really cool, polished product that's going to make people say, what? How did they do that? Like, that looks so good. Who students made that? Yes. These are things that are embedded with Adobe Express that you can do. Well, now I have double books, kind of like double rainbow. I have double books. So I obviously don't need one or both. So I was just showing you how to add it in, how to remove the background. So you can not only remove the background of photos, but ladies and gentlemen, you can do it with videos too. So if you are wondering, how on earth did she get that book on there? Because that was not on the original template. That is how I added it. So you know what? This really pushes the envelope of you thinking outside the box, being creative. How can I zhuzh this up to make it look as, fancy and snazzy as possible? So let me show you really quickly. Right down here at the bottom, you'll notice that the first scene has 3 dots. So if you're wondering, did I have to do that all over again for my conclusion? Because my conclusion is the same. No, you did not, or you do not. All you have to do is click on the 3 dots and looky, you have an option that says to duplicate. So that is how I duplicate or create my ending, because my beginning and ending are the same. You can change it up if you wish, but for time, because I'm thinking of my students, I go ahead and let them keep it the same. Keep the same logo, keep the same title, replaying. So right here, I'm moving my cursor over to the ending, and there you go. You'll see that the beginning and the end are the same. I have just duplicated that. So let me show you once more. How do you duplicate? You click on the 3 dots. You click on the duplicate option, and it will duplicate that scene. And so that's how I get my beginning and end without having to do the work again.
Love it. Love it. I love the duplication process because it's you want to keep the same elements instead of having to
Yes.
rebuild everything all over again. So
Right. Well, who wants to do that? Because I mean,
exactly.
especially if you're a first timer and you're barely dabbling,
Mhm.
the time it takes to make it can be, um, a little tiring. So you want to find those shortcuts and those tricks to speed up the process. And that is exactly one way to definitely speed up the process. Another thing I want to show you is music, which you couldn't hear it, but man. So if you look at the very bottom, you already see on your template that you're using a green bar of music that I've already laid in. So I'm going to highlight that music. And the reason why I'm highlighting that music is because I want to show you if you don't like it, because everyone has their preference. I just chose music that sounded dramatic because, again, I was wanting to get students' attention. But music is another powerful thing, just like text and font choice, and the layout of your text matters. So does music. Music is everything. Music sets the mood, it creates the tone, and it adds to your storytelling of trying to get students interested in this book talk. So again, Adobe Express does not disappoint. They have so many cool options of music choices that you can choose for your videos. So before I show you all those options, let's look at this, everyone. So I chose cinematic percussion trailer. And so when I highlight my music at the bottom, you'll notice that it's highlighted with a black surround, but check out what appears on the left-hand side. So you have the volume. So, what I typically tell my students when they're creating these videos is that we need to lower the volume because the music is just accenting what the book talker is saying. The message and the meat of the story are the words that the book talker is sharing. You do not want your cool cinematic percussion trailer music to overpower the message. So, I typically instruct them lower the volume to at least 6%. That way, it's just a nice little sprinkling of the mood music, and their voice is heard loud and clear. Another feature that I love when you're adding an audio is the fade. Oh my gosh. Fade is
Yes.
everything. I hate it
Yes.
when I was first starting out in video editing, like in the early, I'd say maybe like 2003, 2004, using another product long time ago, um, there weren't fade options. So the music, everything just abruptly ended and it seemed so unpolished, unfinished. So fading adds the polish, it adds the pizzazz, and it slowly fades in the music and slowly fades out. So I always choose in and out. I always click on that. So I do that so that my music has that polished effect. And I even set my duration to 2 seconds. If you don't like 2 seconds and you want it to be more dramatic, then you move that little, what do you call that? A circle?
Yeah, you just move the slider. Right? We call it the
Thank you.
slider.
I
Yeah.
knew there was a word. You move the slider to the left, to the left, to the right. You move it
There-
whichever way, and whatever preference that you have. But my particular preference is 2 seconds. I think I forgot to mention, like, how long are these book talks? Guys, timing is everything. I use the old traditional length of a 30-second commercial. And now with everything
yes. Yes.
digitized, Martin, it's like people can't even pay attention for 30 seconds. I've seen some commercials at 15 seconds, 10,
So
which is,
so here is some good feedback.
yes.
But part of the team were at this wonderful, amazing number one creative conference in the world called Adobe Max last week.
Yes. Y'all just came back
And
from that.
we learned so much from so many creative people. But one of the things that I learned is when people are scrolling,
Uh
like,
huh.
and then they stop, how much time, and goes beyond social media. If you look on, whatever streaming service, this happens as well. But what is the average time that you have in order to hook people?
I know. I think the number's decreasing.
It is 2.2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Oh my
And I
gosh.
I say that because you might thinking, well, that is hardly anything because not too long ago
Yeah.
I remember it was 3 seconds, but now it's 2.2.
Hmm.
So I love the fact that what you're doing here, Celeste, is once again you're telling a story. But I love
Yes,
the fact that your beginning is also a hook, right?
it
Because you
is.
you have those moving pieces that will capture, who your audience is going to be, and the fact that you're putting in yourself, which is what I'm about to assume that you're going to go through, is how
Yes.
do you put your speech into it? So yeah, no, I'm loving this, loving
No,
this.
so if you have exactly what Martin said, if you have 2 point whatever seconds to hook your audience, then that intro better be the best intro ever because those first few seconds are everything. So yeah, choose your video well, your video template, the text, everything, your images. So that is exactly how you add in the music. So just keep those things in mind. The fading, the volume, because the most important thing of this book talk is the talking about the books, which is the next segment of my video, which you're not going to hear, but that's okay because I captioned it and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Oopsie.
Try to press play because did you share the? Oh
I'm
no, he
sorry.
didn't. I thought when you shared back, you were able to click on the share sound button.
Ah,
No worries, no worries.
okay. So if you saw the snippet of my book talking, you'll notice that there were captions in the bottom right-hand corner. So how on earth does that happen?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let me show you. I'm going to go back to that good old rainbow A. So students and whoever is out there watching, if you click on the A, you'll go back to the home page of Adobe and you will go to this feature right here that says edit. I love all the editing features housed here. And I like how they're all housed and organized. Create, teach, edit. So in order
Yeah.
to add captions to your video that you're going to upload, you need to go to the edit tab. And if you scroll on down, aha, here it is. You're going to go to caption video. And so here you will click to upload a video of you speaking. So let's say I click this one. I'm going to open it. And so what will happen is I love how it gives you a little hang tight. We're captioning your video. So it does exactly that. You upload a video that you have taken of yourself or that the students have taken of themselves, and they upload it on that edit feature, the caption. And so what it is doing right now is voila, and it is done. So check this out. It has already edited everything that you have said. Now, at times, depending on the clarity of your voice or the mic that you were using when you made the video, it may make some little errors, but the cool beauty is it right here in this box, you can edit the text so that it's reflecting exactly what was said. So not only can you edit the caption, but you can choose a style. So I think the style that I went with, well, it was, I think, I can't see it, but yes, I chose one of these styles and you can even customize the colors. So again, if you're promoting your campus, or if you're promoting a specific program, then you can customize and make it yellow for your school or yellow for or blue for your program. So, and then if you want to continue to add more pizzazz to that, which you can open this in editor like let's say I wanted a picture floating by my head, or I wanted my campus logo or my organization's logo. I can open an editor and I could add that so that I have something here to my left or to my right. So again, the possibilities are endless of what you can add in to zhuzh up your video that's already zhuzhed up because you've captioned your video. Um, Martin, I think you had mentioned about translations.
Yeah, so just one thing, because I know some of our folks is like, wait a minute, how where did you record this? So One of the things that we love about all of our Adobe products is we get to partner, and we try to leave it as open as much as possible. So Celeste, I don't know that if in this video, did you take it with your phone or with a different device? But for those of you who are like, well, we only have Chromebooks or we only have our, our student devices, not a problem.
Yeah.
You also can add your video. You can insert your video right from Adobe Express on clicking in the media. So there's just so many. Once again, I
Yes.
love, love, love Adobe Express for that particular reason that you can bring it in. But if let's go ahead and show the folks. Let's go ahead and click on Open in Editor at
Okay.
this point, just so people can see something, because once again, a lot of us do work with multilingual students, but once you have that, um, there we go. uh,
Uh-huh.
One of the things that I love about this is if you go ahead and click on play, you can now, of course, go to the very, very top and stop right there as it's talking. Right there at the very top of that video, you're going to see a translate button. You see on top of the video?
Oh, right here.
There we go. So you can click on that, and then
Oh,
go ahead and select a different language. Let's see.
Spanish.
Yeah. And then go ahead and click allow. But even before she did that, you can also change the type of voice, whether you want it more formal or, less. So there's a bunch of different ways. But what I love about this is you can also select multiple languages, and it'll spit out the video with the closed captioning in the different languages. How amazing is
I
that?
know.
Right? I
Yes.
I love it because many of my students, of course, speak a different language, a home language at home. And wouldn't it be great if they can produce both? They can produce, of course, their target language, which is English, and then, of course, their home language, which can be a variety of different things. But how easy is that, ladies and gentlemen?
I know, I know. So mind blowing. Super, super exciting that all
Yeah,
these things
yeah.
are there. They're there. Just little nuggets of gold, waiting to be found, waiting to be discovered and used. And so I tell my students all the time, I'm your guide. I'm here to show you, look, here are these different things that you can add into your video to make it even more amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that is just another feature. So think about, okay, book talks. We're just trying to reach our school community, but our school community is multilingual. We can reach them in Spanish. We can reach them in whatever language is needed. So this is just beyond just the small little bubble that you're trying to target. It can go beyond that.
I love it. All righty. So we have now, of course, multiple ways of bringing in video. And
Mm-hmm.
believe me, ladies and gentlemen, if we had more time, we would show you so many different ways
I know.
that you can create video, bring in video, edit video to make just things pop a little bit more. But this is all
Yes.
about also is meeting your students wherever they're at, because you're going
Mm-hmm.
to have some students that are like, oh, I can do this. Oh, Miss Lopez just gave me some great ideas. Now I'm going to run with this. And you have other students that's like, can we just bring in video from the stock collection, and I can
Uh-huh.
just talk over it? That's fine as well, right?
Yes.
There's animate characters. There's just so many different ways that your students can put this together. So loving it, loving it. All right, Celeste, what's next?
Absolutely. So that was the final component, was that voiceover. So let me go back to my A. Let me go back to, I think it was this one, my template. So ladies and gentlemen, going back to your beginning, middle, and end, we were working on the middle. Well, there's a different video here, but it's the same thing, where you have to upload the video of your caption and use that as your middle scene, because that is the meat of your book talk. So once you created that caption video, right here, if you look at the upload option, go ahead and look there again at your left side. You would click upload. And so I would add in that caption video. I know I already have one down there, but let me just show you. So I would select the caption video that I've made on Adobe Express. I will have downloaded it. And I will select it, open it. I'm going to remember what Martin mentioned. I don't want to layer it on because I'm going to have video on video and it'll be too confusing. I'm going to add it as a sequence. I'm just showing you all. I know I already have one there. So there it is. I'll go ahead and delete. I can delete that one. And voila. So we have our completed book talk, the beginning, the middle, the end. And so I'm sure it was kind of fast and furious because there
No,
are a
this.
lot of moving parts to this, but it doesn't have to be, I guess, I mean, I like it. My students enjoy it. But again, if you have students and this is just too much, you can, of course, differentiate. You can
Always.
definitely add in different graphics. If the animation is too much, then it doesn't need to be animated. But my end goal is, ooh, how do I pique their interest in the very few seconds that I have?
I love
So
it.
yeah, that is how I put together, and that is exactly how I taught my students how to put together our campus book talks. And so I teach them kind of like writing a story.
Yes.
You've got your beginning, your middle, and your end, and you need to have your hooks. What are you going to do to generate that interest and to keep it? Because not only do they need to pique their interest, but they need to hold on so that they watch long enough to even hear what the title of the book was that they are sharing about that they loved so much. So
Celeste, this
yeah.
this this is amazing. So I'm going to do is as I was listening to you, I was like, oh, I have this idea. Oh, I have this idea. So I'm going to share my screen in a moment to let people know, like, where, like, what, how else can you put stuff together? So,
Oh.
because I was part of the session, I didn't have, the time to record. But like I said, there's so many different ways that your students can show you what they know and what they're
Mm-hmm.
excited about in their in their project. So look at this, right? So I took your component, and this is what I have, right? So I took that little book that you had, I deleted that. I
Yeah.
went into the media, I got a book, but I'm just going to show you what I have, and then I'm going to show you how I got there, right? So there we go.
Ooh, I know what you did there.
Yeah,
He made
yeah,
his text circular. That was
yeah,
a
yeah.
text feature. And guys, he animated the text. So there's a feature, an animation where you can rotate. How cool is that? That it not only is the text circular, but he chose an animation to have it move uh, as a circle. That's
And
cool.
as you can see, this was me back in the back in kindergarten, back in the day. So that is a picture of yours truly right there.
Oh, thank you for
But
zooming in. I couldn't see.
yeah, I know. It's
Oh,
like I always forget,
little
but
Martin.
little Martin. So one of my favorite books, what I ended up doing here is Where the Wild Things Are, and that is Max
Oh.
going to the thing. So I added video, but just so you can see exactly, what I did was I took that, that template, right? And what I did was when I went in here, of course, I changed the name. And then it's funny because when I saw that name right next to mine, so let's just so you know, I'm like, oh, what is my dad doing here? Because
Ah,
his last name was also Lopez as well.
oh.
So what I ended up doing here was exactly what Celeste talked about. I went to text layouts and I did my circular, right? So now I went in here, highlighted my name, and I just decided to give that a different a different color. So going through this, as I'm looking at her stuff, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So then I'm going to make this a little bit larger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I'm going to move this guy right about here. And then, of course, if you can get stuff to the back, always use your layers. So, anyways, I came in here, of course, use the templates. I typed in, I think, what, no, I went into media and I typed in man reading. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I ended up doing. And I think that, no, my last one was book. And so I went into videos, found something that I thought was great. There it is, right? So added on top as a canvas. Oh, I deleted. Oh, I know what I did. I deleted the wrong thing. Go back. We want to delete the book. There we go. And now I'm going to choose a book here, add it as a layer. And then right here on top, ladies and gentlemen, there is a crop feature. And I use the circle.
I do that all the time.
So,
Yes, the
and if you're
circular
one,
crop feature. Yes.
yeah, so as you're seeing here, right? So now I want to animate this. So I'm going to animation. I went into looping and I did the spin.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got there, right? Now, with the second part, what I ended up doing was I went back, and if you see this background picture with the candlelight flickering, I just thought, oh, that's just a cool feel. It's a man reading by candlelight, and then I just copied this over. But this graphic right here, just so for the book, I put a boy in a canoe riding towards a spooky island with big yellow eyes coming out of the forest on the
Mm,
island. So it gives you that idea.
nice.
And if I was to really, really do this, then of course I would either record myself, which is media, videos. You can record yourself, right? Just like Celeste did, or I can go into audio, record my voice, or do an animated character, whichever. There's so
Mm-hmm.
many different ways, but
So many
I,
ways.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping you all got a lot of really cool stuff out of this, ladies and gentlemen. But at Adobe, we're always adding new some amazing stuff. So I always want to tell people that if you click over here on the Learn tab, there is so many great things. But one of the things I do want to make sure that you all have is clicking on the video tab. So if you want to learn more about video, come in here, learn how to speed up or slow down, how to, trim clips. So if you want to get better at creating video, especially for these book talks, this is a great place for you to go. If you're like, oh, I love the generative AI, if you want to learn more
Mm-hmm.
about that, we have that here. Of course, we have all of our guided activities. And this is new for a lot of our folks as we're wrapping up here. If you go to Educator Collections, so we have tips from some of our amazing innovators, just like Celeste. You've already seen her genius already, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen. So we have, of course, other wonderful innovators that they have put up their showcasing. So student reflections, showcase student thinking, a media specialist toolkit. So there's a lot for you to choose from. And then, of course, I would not be able to tell you that. You can definitely click here where it says 12 days of creativity because we have a new deck coming on board. So thank you for all who joined us today. Celeste, once again, thank you. This was amazing. And as you can see on top, you can follow Celeste at Celeste
oh,
Garza Lopez. And of course, Librarian Lopez is how I first, met her. And I'm like, oh, what a great tag name. But
right?
with yes.
The alliteration, LL.
Exactly. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, please join us next time. You can, of course, capture some more amazing stuff at adobe.ly / Adobe Live EDU to learn more about some great upcoming programming. But with that, Celeste, thank you. And
Anytime.
thanks everyone who joined us today. Have a great one, all.
Bye.